Panama City leaders are still trying to explain how a department head was able to allegedly embezzle nearly $500,000 without anyone noticing. As this criminal case against Michael Johnson moves forward, News 13 has discovered several other issues connected to the accused former Community Development Director Michael Johnson. And as News 13's Thomas Schultz tells us, the results are pretty alarming.
A man who is supposed to be helping low-income families find homes and overseeing after-school programs for kids was allegedly financially enriching himself for years. But Friday, News 13 can report on several other incidents involving former Community Services Director Michael Johnson that should have raised red flags in the city.
It's disheartening, that we find ourselves in this situation. What I thought was just gross management has obviously turned into apparent illicit activity and embezzlement of funds, and that's discouraging. Because we work really hard. We've got our citizens deserve the best, and in this particular case, it fell short.
According to documents obtained by News 13, Johnson sent $100,000 to a local constructor. He allegedly sent 4 checks on the same day for just under $25,000. If one check had been written instead of 4, it would have triggered a review by the city commission.
It should have been caught, because it would have been considered an aggregate expense over $25,000, but each of them came in under the $25,000 threshold because I believe he manipulated those disbursements to be able to ensure that it didn't rise to that level of review.
The city's attorney also called into question Johnson's oversight of a loan and more money spent with the same construction company. As head of all of the city's CRAs, Johnson also allegedly violated city policy with a $13,000 expenditure of CRA funds.
It's very difficult to do that when you have something that is being done contrived and through fraudulent means. And when those are identified, we're going to address them. We hold everybody responsible here at the city of Panama City, and we're going to get into it and we're going to find out. That's why we immediately turned it over to the police and requested all available assets to support our police department.
The city's attorney even accused Johnson of practicing law without a license because he allegedly filed motions and pleadings in 3 evictions on behalf of the city without notifying the city's law firm. According to McQueen, these issues, along with major problems in an audit of the city's community development block grant program, all came together at the same time.
And with that, I approached Mr. Johnson and challenged him on what I perceived to be gross mismanagement of a program that he's responsible for, at which time he tendered his resignation. I accepted it. In no case did we, in any document that I saw, did it ever suggest that there was any illicit activity that was taking place. It was just sloppy, gross mismanagement.
But city officials admit they don't know how much money or how many different funds Johnson could have accessed during his 18 years with the city.
No, I have no idea.
Johnson's arrest also raises questions about the amount of property he apparently owns in Bay County. City officials say if Johnson embezzled money to buy those homes, they are unaware of it, but believe it will come out in the criminal investigation. Meanwhile, they say the issues we discovered are not part of a criminal investigation.
Those were not crimes. That was mismanagement.
McQueen says he has ordered a full audit of the accounting issues and other problems that came to light from Johnson's resignation and his subsequent arrest. This is the second time the city manager has had to investigate city practices. In 2020, former City Leisure Services Director Keith Baker was charged with bid tampering and official misconduct as part of an ongoing investigation into corruption.
I think this was done by a single individual that made this all happen. I don't suspect any other employees of the city that were involved in any of this type of activity.
McQueen admits the investigation, which now includes the FBI, is just getting started. As McQueen said at one point, they don't know what they don't know. In Panama City, Thomas Schultz, News 13, Panhandle Strong.
Johnson had his first court appearance before a judge this afternoon. The judge set his bond at $75,000.